What's up, Playboys? Today we're going to be making a video about Nina Drama, who had a lot to say about me on Twitter. Out of nowhere, she lashed out at me with this massive paragraph, and I'll be honest with you guys, at first I thought, I ain't reading all that, little bro. But then I did read all of it, and I realized how badly I could create the cooking of the generation, so I decided to do so because I have a lot to say about Nina Drama, and because she's got a lot to say about me, now it justifies me making a video to say a lot of what I have to say about Nina Drama. Okay, guys? So we're going to get straight into the video. Oh, what's this guy doing on my screen? Hang on a second here. We're going to get straight into the video, and I'm going to give you some background, and then we're going to go through some things together. Okay? That's what we're going to do. And we're going to have some fun, is what we're going to do. Okay, guys? So I made a tweet, and it was referencing this woman. Okay? And I said, and it was at the press conference, and this got, by the way, this got 200k views, 2,000 likes, 1 point something thousand likes. And I said, honestly, so disrespectful of the UFC cameraman at the UFC 307 press conference to be like, nah, you guys got to see this in the middle of her question. Honestly, pathetic behavior and not funny. I was calling out the behavior. Obviously, I was making a joke. I dared to make a fat joke on Twitter. And who are you skinnies to tell me what I can and can't say to a fellow fat? That's our word. Okay? That's our culture. You don't get to speak on our topics, okay? You don't get to enter fat discussions. That's our word, okay? So I don't know why all these skiddies are out here telling me what I can and can't say to a fellow fat. Okay, guys? But I made a passing comment. It got 200k views. Since Nina made it all about herself, it now has nearly 3 million views on Twitter. What a great friend you are, Nina, to this woman. What an amazing, wonderful friend you are to this woman. I made a comment that no one would have seen, and you made it all about yourself to show how good of a person you are. We'll get to that in a second, because there's a lot I've got to show you in today's video that's really funny and maybe suggests that Nina isn't such a good person. Who knows? But I'm glad that Nina made it all about herself and got this to 3 million views. Just so you know, the entire MMA world could see the fat joke. And the person it was directed at could see it as well. Thank you, Nina, for doing that. I'm sure she really appreciates it. I think she actually said she does appreciate the support. This now has everyone seeing the fat joke that would have been unseen by 90% of the MMA community. You friend of Sean Strickland, by the way. I can't make a fat joke. We'll get into some of that as well. I've got a lot to show you guys today. Nina seems to find certain people saying certain jokes really, really funny. So that's going to be a big part of the video today, but there's going to be some other stuff. Don't worry, I found some other stuff. You guys know I love to find the other stuff. Let's get into it. I've been keeping my mouth shut about this clout-chasing vermin since I started in the UFC. So the start of your career, when you started in the UFC. That's how that works normally? So sorry. We could change started in the UFC to start of your career, covering MMA. Start of my career covering MMA was 4 years. Grafting, not needing any fighter to collab with the channel, all on my own. Every night, past midnight, American hours in the UK. You started your career in MMA journalism in the UFC. Isn't that funny? How different we are. Fucking slut. I've been keeping my mouth shut about this clout-chasing vermin since I started in the UFC, and he hasn't been able to keep my name out of his mouth. I ain't the one yapping on Twitter non-stop. I say some things on streams. We're going to go through every part of this, and it's going to get juicy. But I'm not the ones, I say things on stream all the time. I've maybe mentioned you for a few minutes out of the 20, 30 hours of streaming I've done this week. And I can't keep my name out your mouth. Very interesting stuff. I ain't a clout chaser either. I only recently started interviewing fighters. I built my channel without them. All good though. You literally need fighters to exist. But you also need another technique to exist. We'll get to you shaking them around on Twitter in a second, because there's some interesting things that I want to talk about when it comes to what certain people should start being called. Okay? Person who just admitted that they shake them around for views on Twitter. We have a word for those type of people. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what the word was for the life of me. So I guess I won't be saying it much as a direct accusation in the video, but I'm sure there's a word for people that do that. Either way. Crying about me like a little bitch on the internet. This isn't crying on the internet, is it? But for Amy, I had to speak up. Yes, this is for her, making sure everyone saw the fat joke. You're doing this for her, aren't you? I may not be everybody's cup of tea. I might be cringe and annoying, and I don't shy away from using my assets for views. They're great. They're a great set, and I will use every tool at my disposal without actually desecrating myself for success in my career. You've never desecrated yourself for success in your career? What's this guy keep popping up on screen for? This guy is fucking Chad though. What a playboy. Anyway, you'd never do that for your career, would you? No, you wouldn't stoop that low. Anyway, let's get back to that topic at hand, because we got a lot to break down here, guys. I don't shy away from using my assets for views. Now, the reason Nina has said I won't keep her name out my mouth is because I said something about Nina the other day. Because I don't know about you guys, but I think someone who has just admitted to using their tits to gain views, someone who's just admitted to that and to doing that on a platform accessible to 13-year-olds, I think we have a name for those types of people. And I happen to speak out on stream, not only against Nina, but against not like Nina's one of these, because she doesn't have one of these, but there's a lot of women online right now that are selling themselves online in a very sexually provocative manner to an app and a platform accessible to 13-year-olds. With no age verification. Now, it'd be very different if you were doing this on a platform that was 18 plus. That would be a very different situation, where maybe you needed a credit card to do it, or you needed some kind of age verification to prove so you could access it. That would be a little different. But when you admit to using your assets for views in a sexually provocative manner, I'm not going to show them in today's video, but you know what I'm talking about on Twitter. Every video she nearly does is her shaking him around like, watch this, everyone. And this platform, Twitter, is accessible to 13-year-olds. And I know people could say, well, Nina Drama doesn't know who's watching her platform and who's actually on her Twitter. A lot of them actually seem to be 50-year-old men that watch your stuff and glaze you and say, God, you're so stunning. Man, it's amazing what you're doing for the community. And I get that. Maybe Nina doesn't know who her audience is. I mean, it's not like there's videos online of her taking pictures with these fans and yet still using sexually provocative moves with her assets to get views on Twitter, is there? It's not like there's videos online of her meeting all of her fans and finding out who her fans are because they're all young AF. Why am I trying to keep this clean? It ain't getting monetized. You know who your fans are. If you need to get down on your knees to take a picture with a fan, you know exactly who your fans are. Yet you admit here to using your assets for views, and you do that. They're a great set, and I'll use every tool at my disposal without actually desecrating myself. So you'll do sexually provocative things to get attention from a fan base of who? From a fan base of who? On a platform accessible to who? You want to talk about being morally good? I called out Jon Jones. We'll get to Jon Jones. A wife beater. That's who I called out. I called out Israel Adesanya. He lied about having cancer. He lied about his upbringing. He has a sexual dog fetish. You've had both Jones and them on your channel. We'll get to that in a second, though. You don't have any problem with Jones. You freaking love Jon Jones. You know he beat up his wife, but you freaking love him. What's the problem, Nina? If I would have given you views in the early day, you wouldn't have a problem with anything I say. No, it's because I have a problem with people and I say things about people whilst not fucking benefiting them monetarily. That's everyone's problem with me in this MMA scene. I don't shill for fucking nothing. I know the O'Malley Morab video's there, but trust me, there's an argument for 1, 3, and 5. I don't shill for the UFC. That's your problem. We'll get back to your original tweet, though, because we've got a lot to discuss, and maybe we'll circle back round to this topic and give an overall assessment of it. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to make the crazy statement in this video that adults shouldn't be sexually provoking on a platform to get monetary gain and attention that is accessible to 13-year-olds. There is a word for people like that. I can't quite remember what the word is, YouTube administration team, but I'm sure there's a word for people like that. But maybe she didn't know the fans and who they were. Maybe she didn't know what her fan base was. This is just all AI. How interesting. It's all good, though. At least you admit that you do it. I needed that admission. Otherwise, I couldn't make that point strongly enough. Thank you, Nina. They're a great set, and I'll use every tool at my disposal without actually desecrating myself for my career. Oh my God, this guy keeps popping up. Who is that? Part 2! If you dare to respond! But that doesn't, in my career, but that doesn't make me an indecent human, which is what you like to allude to as of late. Oh yeah, I'm just alluding to stuff, aren't I? This is what makes you so indecent and despicable. So much that I had to say something. This is the reason that you'll never make it out of that stale basement doing interview calls. She's raging because she's typed that twice. For the rest of your life. Putting yourself for donations that don't even cover a premium Zoom account. Putting myself out there for donations. Reading chat messages in a live stream. If only there was something worse I could be doing for money. Like, I don't know. But it's all good anyway. It's all good. You know what I mean? I don't want to play around, boy. You know what I mean? So, we're going to get back to the topic. We've done enough playing, boy. You know what I'm saying? If only there was something worse I could be doing for money. If only there was something way worse. It's all good, though. I do want to say that this is the reason that makes you so indecent and despicable. Let's get on to the next topic, because I've spent long enough on this. Sean Strickland's got a lot to say about fat people. Just thought I'd play this real quick. You don't seem to have a problem with him. Let's have a little listen.
Yeah, I said that. Super good.
I don't really watch women's MMA, but if I do, I root for the ugly one.
100%. I'll tell you why. Because, like...
How funny is that, Nina? He just shamed women. How funny is that? And you asked him if he said it, provoking him to go further in on the topic. How funny is that, Nina? That's so funny. You hold back that laugh. Hold back that laugh, Nina. Just like your boyfriend holds back his tears every time you collaborate with a fighter. You hold back that laugh. You fucking hypocrite bitch. So funny. Oh my God, I'm in the way. That's so funny, Nina. It's so funny. Just hold back the laugh. Oh, God, it's so funny. He's about to go off on ugly women. This is going to be great for my content. I can make money out of this, so I'm okay with it. You're not a hypocrite, are you? That's crazy. It's all good, though. So he goes off about that.
Like, you're like a...
And he goes in rating her, and she's like, oh, come on. My boyfriend's watching, and I don't want him to bust a nut. Which is what he's fucking into, it seems. We move on to another point in this interview, though, which is at 11:41. Now, remember, you're friends with this guy, Sean Strickland. Okay? You're friends with him. Great friends with him. Because guess why? He made your career. I know you brought him out of his shell and showed us who he really was, and I think you do good interviews. I don't have a problem with anything Sean Strickland says. I'm filth, but so are all of you. Quit acting morally above me. You're worse. 11:41. Let's have a listen to this bit.
Why are lesbians such
Oh,
Hold on a second now. I've got another clip to show you first. We'll get to that one in a second, guys. Because she finds everything so funny, remember. So I'm going to go over this side. And I'm going to play you a clip. Now, remember, I'm horrible for what I said, basically referring to a woman as fat. In a very avoidable... Like, if you didn't want to take it that way, you couldn't have. The way I said it. The cameraman's out of line for that. It's all good, though. Remember, Nina has a problem with people being called fat, especially women. What's this clip, Nina?
All right, next question. Do you believe fat shaming is okay if the person you're fat shaming is someone you love?
What a great topic to discuss. I'm sure you did this because you know Sean Strickland would have only nice things to say about fat people. That's why you did it, right? Because Strickland only ever has nice things to say about fat people. I'm sure that's why you did it, isn't it, Nina? Bringing up this topic for views. Let's see what Strickland has to say about fat people and whether or not fat shaming's okay. And let's see if Nina has any reaction to him saying this.
I think fat shaming is always okay.
Immediate smile. Fat shaming's always okay. You're friends with this guy, remember?
There's nothing worse than being next to a fat, smelly motherfucker. And the most human thing.
All smiles. From Nina Drama. No tantrum. No rage. No standing up for fat women. What's going on, Nina? I don't get you views and money. So you have to stand up to me?
Thing you could do is telling a fat, smelly motherfucker to put down the fork. You know, if you can't see your
How funny is that, Nina?
you're a little bit.
It's so funny, isn't it, Nina? Making fun of fat people. And you only actually laughed when Strickland turned this fat comment on women, if you'll listen here.
Fat, smelly motherfucker to put down the fork.
He now talks about women being fat. Nina's holding back laughter at this.
You know, if you can't see your you're a little bit too fat. If you got to lift up a roll to see the you're too fat. If your stomach looks like a and you're naked and a guy doesn't know which hole to put it in.
It's so funny, Nina, isn't it? Ha ha! We're all laughing together at him making fun of fat women. And if your stomach hangs over here and a guy can't even put it in, Nina holds back laughter.
You're too fat. Continue.
It's so funny, isn't it, Nina? I'm so glad you disagree with fat shaming women. I love how you stood up to Sean Strickland here. You fucking hypocritical bitch. I love it. It's so funny how you did that. What a funny comment from Sean Strickland. I'm so glad you had such a good laugh about it. Or sorry, you had to hold back such extreme laughter. It's so funny. It's so funny when Strickland does it because Strickland gets you 2 million views on an interview. Isn't that funny when Strickland does it? That's what I got to say about that. And she actually had a response to the Sean Strickland thing. We'll get back to her original comment in a second because there's more. There's more. Sean says a lot of things I don't agree with. I'll call him all the time to delete and shit and take it down. Ultimately, when Sean knows he's wrong, he apologizes or takes it down. Who the fuck do you think you are, by the way? Sean don't have to listen to you. Sorry. I know you're used to that with men, listening to whatever you say, because your boyfriend don't stand a fucking ground on anything. I get that. Maybe you're used to walking all over him. Why does Strickland need to take down shit that you disagree with? You didn't seem to disagree with him making fun of fat women right there. But I'm despicable, right? We've helped each other grow and I've gotten to know Sean. So that makes it different. Okay. He's one of the most supportive friends and vice versa. He's a good person with a lot of opinions on the world. He's even joked and said things about me that were not true. And Sean isn't an intentionally mean person. He tries to better himself every day. Why can't I be doing that? He speaks on his mental health. You never tuned into a stream of mine? I'm fucking crazy! It's all good. He struggles with it and tries to inspire people like him to go out and better their lives. What kind of chat fucking GPT bullshit is this? No one's buying this excuse. Quit yapping, whore. The fuck? Get in the gym and make something of themselves or take a stand in what they believe in. I'm fucking sure I took a stand in what I believe in. I'm doing it right now. He's constantly talking about doing his best to become a better man. And through being his friend, I've watched him do this. And through this, he has inspired many men to do the same. I don't know Guru and he does not know me. I know a lot. I know a lot more. Keep yapping and I'll tell you a lot more. He has spread lies about me and false narratives. None of it's false. None of it is false. The Jones stuff, the you stuff, I tell the truth. Or I wouldn't be here right now. And you guys know that. It's all public information. He does not inspire to be better. I actually do. He's constantly negative without a purpose, and that's the difference. You want to know what I do to inspire people to be better? I inspire them to be better at the cost of your little fucking hustle that you've got going on. That whole rant I made about you and how men should stop watching porn. It's terrible for them. Stop consuming pornographic content. Stop being tricked into giving people attention that show you a sexually provocative thing. Control your lust. I am bettering them, but it's in a way that negatively affects your bank account. So therefore, I'm not bettering them. Because you want men to be like your boyfriend. A little cuck bitch. That don't run round here. He constantly is negative without a purpose. I am constantly negative. The world deserves it. And that's the difference. And then something about Helen Yee where she faked some shit. Or didn't fake some shit. That's the difference. So that's the difference. So Sean Strickland's a really good guy. And he never really puts a foot wrong. Wrong one. I'll get to Bisping in a second. Sean Strickland is a really good guy. I know he said some things you disagree with. It's not like Sean Strickland's ever made a fun of a guy who died, who just left a 10-month-year-old baby behind.
Brazilian fighter got hit by a fucking bus and died. No one gave a fuck about that guy. When I read it, I was like, God damn, dude, if you can't dodge a bus, that's why you're not in the UFC. That was my first joke when I read that, and I stand by it. It's fucking hilarious.
I'm not going after Strickland for this. But you're going after me for making a fat joke. But you're friends with Sean Strickland, who makes fun of people who have just died. I can't make a fat joke. But this your boy? Making fun of a guy who's literally just fucking died. Family are probably still crying their eyes out. This was very shortly afterwards as well. Probably still mourning the loss of their father, their husband, their son. He's allowed to make fun of him for that, but he's really a good person because he gave you views on your YouTube channel, right? I can't make a fat joke though. Strickland can. Strickland can make fat jokes and you'll laugh right along with him because it's so funny, isn't it? But I can't because I negatively affect your bottom line with what I'm saying. That's what it comes down to. I don't make you money. I cost you it. Because you're getting exposed. Like all of these fighters are. Just some bitch. You know what I mean? We'll get back to her main comment. We got more. There's a reason you had to take on the role of the heel on the backside of the MMA media industry. And it's because you're a rude, vile, ignorant, dusty, pathetic troll that causes more problems than you're worth. I just took on the role of the heel. Lil sis. I've been doing this. I took on the role. Oh, I wasn't getting anywhere with all my positive takes, was I? So I just started being negative all of a sudden in 2024. That's what you think happened? bitch. That's what you think happened? I just started being negative in 2024? You must have not done your research on me. I've been talking shit. Because people deserve shit talked at them. That's a fact. And just because they're fighters, and just because they can potentially make me money on my channel, don't mean shit. People called me out for being biased towards O'Malley Marab. I've been on O'Malley's pod before. O'Malley's probably watching this right now. He had me on his pod. I said his wife looked like Howley and Paver in a wig. And I called him a cuck because I disagree with cuckery. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't understand this whole, the hypocrisy here. One thing I do like to see though, trust me, everyone at the UFC knows who you are. Oh! Thank God, finally, for the validation I've been looking for. I knew they knew who I was. I knew they knew. They tried to have me on the promos. UFC 300, I was in that promo. I was talking to the UFC. Then you know what I did because I don't shill out for a company like you, bitch? I exposed a wife beater for being closeted gay because he's a wife beater and a steroid cheat, and I disagree with that fundamentally, so I thought I'd go after him for it. There's a few other gay fighters in the UFC. See me making videos on them? I could do. I won't. Not until they do something bad. If they happen to, I don't know, beat up a woman, like the guys you love, maybe I'll make a video on them. Till then, I'm not just going after anyone for nothing. I'm glad that everyone at the UFC knows who I am, though. Thank you for revealing that. I'm sure there'll be punishments for you later. Couple extra power slap promos this week. You and Bisping together this time. Doing as you're fucking told. Everyone at the UFC knows who you are because of all the rumors and lies you've spread for clicks and views. Rumors and lies. Just showing public information. Reading it as it is. I don't fabricate things. I don't make up stories. Check through all my videos. I'd be exposed otherwise. He's lied. He lied about this. No, I didn't. All I did was show a video of Jon Jones in a comedy club. Let people infer what they want from it while screaming things. My own opinion on the things. Everyone seemed to agree with the opinion. Maybe because I was right and not lying. No, I just made up all those videos of Jon Jones, did I? I made them up. AI. Guy who don't even edit his videos. Just made them up, guys. You got me. You got me, Nina. It's good that everyone knows who I am, though. You owe Photo Amy an apology, and while you're at it, apologize to yourself for turning out less than human. I'm not going to apologize to myself. I started at nothing in life. I've made a really good thing for myself. Took me 4 years of not getting anywhere with it. I've been doing this since 2018. Finally, it's picking up because I stuck with it for 4 years. In my parents' house. In my shed of my parents' house. Grafting, after working, 9 to 5, came home, first 2 years, did my thing, non-stop, all the time. I ain't never going to be ashamed of myself. For what, exposing a wife beater? Exposing a guy in Adesanya who's got a sexual dog fetish? And lied about having cancer? Lied about his upbringing? Stated he was poor when he had servants? I'm wrong for pointing that out? Or are you wrong for still interviewing him? Who knows? I don't know shit an apology. You owe her an apology. Because you and the rest of the MMA media have turned this into a story that would have been... If you would have just let my comment die out, it would have been irrelevant in a day. Well done. She's now the fat chick of the MMA media. Thank you for bringing attention to it, making it all about yourself. You took my post from 200k views to 3 million. You righteously good person. You owe her an apology. Absolutely you do. And while you're at it, once you give her an apology for laughing about Sean Strickland's comments on fat women, one more time.
And you're naked and a guy doesn't know which hole to put it in, you're too fucking fat. Continue.
Once you apologize for laughing along, and once Sean Strickland apologizes, maybe I will. But I probably won't. I don't know shit an apology. Fuck you. You're doing the same shit. But you're doing it to millions of viewers. While you're at it, apologize to yourself for turning out less than human. My parents are so proud of me, you have no idea. But it's all good. I'm all right with myself. An excrement stain on society, and now the another reason another person is going to sleep feeling devalued and violated. She wouldn't have seen it without you. It's all good. But yeah, like, now you've done just roasting me and talking about yourself. Check out her work, guys. Little 2 sentences at the end. How nice of you. So nice of you to say that at the end. How amazing of a person you are. An excrement stain on society. Let's talk about Jon Jones. You know he beat his wife. I freaking love Jon Jones. And before y'all make it weird and leave a bunch of how did she get the Jones interview comments, I'll tell you, before I started covering MMA, I was a comedy content creator. How was that working out? Before the UFC just straight up platformed you out of fucking nowhere. All good. Jon and I used to follow each other but never spoke. I saw Jon backstage with 285 and asked the UFC social team if I could do a quick piece with Jon. They were a little hesitant, but for some reason the UFC took a chance on me and said yes. And we waited for him backstage to finish the press conference. Jon saw me, was like, hey, I know you, and said yes to sitting down with me for 10 minutes while on his way, and that's how I got the Jones interview. You guys have no idea how grateful I am for Johnny Bones. He changed my life by giving me 10 minutes of his time. I'm forever grateful. Thanks, Johnny. And because he gave you 10 minutes and made you relevant in the UFC scene with interviews, because he did that with you, you freaking love him. That's all it takes to be a good person to you. Benefit you financially. Jon Jones beat up his wife. Want to talk about a stain on society? He repeatedly beats his woman. Anything to say about that, Nina? Seeing as you're so moralistic and amazing and righteous and stand up for what's right. Jones beat up his woman multiple occasions. Got shit to say? I'll wait for your announcement on Twitter once this video's posted, denouncing Jon Jones and everything he stands for. Since you've got such a problem with someone making a fat joke, I'm sure you'll have a problem with a fucking wife beater. Serial one at that. One that does it so bad that his own daughters have to ring the police on him because there's blood everywhere in a hotel room and he's fled the scene. I'm sure you'll make a statement denouncing Jones forever. Oh wait, he might be on your channel in the build up to Jones versus Miocic because you'll do what Dana fucking tells you to. I won't. Dana steps out of line, I'll correct him. Been doing it for about a few months straight now. You won't. Dana slapped his wife. Just follow along his orders. But then again, you don't have any problem working for a company run by someone who's maybe a little bit flawed as a person. But we're not going to get into that. God, I love this guy. Like the way, like his hat. Honestly. What a playboy. Either way. That's how I feel. The reason another person is going to sleep feeling devalued and violated. I wonder how Jon Jones' wife felt sleeping that night in the hotel while he was in jail. After beating the shit out of her. Want to talk devaluing? I'm not living in a basement. I'm doing all right. No, actually, you know what? I am living in a basement, guys. It's really rough over these sides. I do better than you on ad revenue. I beat ESPN MMA on ad revenue. I have a tab open to show the money compared between us. Because it gets measured, if you don't know, on ad revenue. And unless you're taking behind the scenes pay from the UFC, I don't know how you could be making more than me. But there's a tab I have open. I'm not going to show it, but I'm doing all right. These guys just think I'm some loser in a basement. I'm fucking changing my whole fucking family's life. And I will. If I keep going with this, I will. I'm some terrible person. Cool. So that's what I got to say about the topic. There's also other things. Cutman Tate, you're friends with him. He just called Kayla Harrison Triple H. But then again, Cutman Tate said they hated Jesus at first as well. On a Jon Jones post in response to the hatred I was giving him for beating his woman. So you guys are a little bit morally wrong. You have your little cool kids club in the UFC. Michael Bisping is this as well. This is the Sean Strickland post. Michael Bisping just said, keep up with your great work. Ignore the negative prick. Remember, guys, Bisping would never make fun of someone else's appearance. That would be something a prick would do, right, Bisping? One rule for the UFC Elite Club, another one for me. Now rush along Dana's little boy, there's a power slap to cover you, shill. Do as you're fucking told, Bisping, and shut your mouth. Or I'll tell you why you really hate Conor McGregor. I can't wait to do a part 2 if you lot have got more to say about me. Because I'll reveal why you really hate Conor McGregor because of what he brought up. If MMA fans know, they know. I'm not going to be the one to leak it. I'll save it for a counterattack. I'll save it for a counterattack. Keep yapping. Keep trashing me. I'd advise keep my name out your fucking mouth. Yapping online. Like you ain't all incredibly flawed. You person that just admitted to using your assets for views. Knowing this is your fan base. Again, I'm fairly certain we have a word for these types of people. And this is a problem all across the platform when it comes to women in the modern era. They shouldn't be allowed, and this is my stance and why she got riled up in the first place, because this weren't about that fat chick. It weren't. This was because I recently mentioned her, and it went kind of viral on Twitter-ish. Got a few views. Because I was saying that we need to start reconsidering the definition of a word to cover more bases. We got a lot of women right now on platforms that are accessible to 13-year-olds and lower, because you don't have to verify your age, profiting and making money and getting followers and getting views off of people around this age range because they're, what was it? Using their assets for views. And Nina's not even the worst at this. She isn't. There's other women on there doing a whole lot worse, posting shit on Twitter. If you're posting sexually suggestive things on a platform accessible to 13-year-olds, and you know they're your fan base because you've met them and you know, we got a word for people like you. I wonder what that word is. It's all good though. Don't chat about me. Don't talk about me. Shut the fuck up. Do what Dana tells you to do. Go cover a power slap event. Go interview another fighter that's beat up a woman. Maybe Adesanya will be next. Guy who lied about having cancer, lied about his upbringing, and has a sexual dog fetish. Maybe that's someone you'll interview instead. Shut your mouth. You lot have made... I'm glad I did this to go at you. So it don't have to be about that woman that I made a passing comment on. Heaven... And remember, I'll end it with this. Heaven fucking forbid I make a fat joke, right, Nina? Especially about a woman. We know how you feel about fat jokes towards women, don't we, Nina?
If your stomach looks like a and you're naked and a guy doesn't know which hole to put it in, you're too fucking fat.
I'm glad you find it so funny.
Continue.
She can't, Strickland. She can't continue. She's holding back too much laughter because you made fun of a fat woman. Nina Drama. Cooked. Smoked. And there's a few other people yapping on Twitter as well. Don't think I don't know shit as well. You're all flawed. I'm not. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not. I read a couple donos. The response might be, look at this racist thing he said. I get edgy. You know what I mean? I read donos that are racy. I do impressions of Michael Chandler's kids. Yeah, we've all done it. I get tricky. I make jokes about this. I have viewpoints about that. Probably are very aligned with Sean Strickland's, by the way, that you're such good friends with. I ain't never done no shit that's like morally reprehensible though. Like seriously. Is what it is. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Heaven forbid I made a fat joke. Look what you did and have been doing. Again, don't shy away from using my assets for views. These are your fans. You know they're your fans. This is the platform you do it on. I'm the morally reprehensible one though, aren't I? See you later, guys. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. You know what I love about all of this, though? Thank you, Nina, for letting me know everyone at the UFC knows who I am. I was aware. It's good to know for sure. I'll keep doing my thing. Bye.